And in that journey, we connect the organs through the brain, also through the tongue. And another way of connecting to the organs is through the rectum. We work with 6 different energy channels in holographic breathing, and different areas of the rectum relate to each one of those channels. And the same thing in the sacrum, which the rectum sits into the sacrum. Different areas of the sacrum relate to those different channels and those different organs, and they are together and they are part of the different realities. You've got the somatic nervous system in the sacrum. You've got the autonomic nervous system in the rectum. But because they lie into each other, there can be an interface between these 2 parts of us, and that releases the Kundalini. There's a strong, traditionally, the Kundalini rises from the sacrum. But for me, even more so, the Kundalini rises from the rectum. It's kind of pretty well instant. You become aware of the rectum and this bright light starts rising up through the body, through the face, through the head, through all of the organs. And it takes a different trajectory from the sacrum, in that the sacrum, it more moves up through the bones and through the bones of the cranium. The rectum, the energies rise more centrally through the body and through the organs and through the central brain complex in the center of the brain, and then both of them connect to the higher self. So they're 2 different circuits, and both house the Kundalini, and both house the connection to all of the organs and all of the circuits. And when we bring those 2 together, then it also becomes much more possible, or we get the ability to connect the organs energetically with the spine. Each organ relates energetically to a vertebrae. This is different to the nerves, where different nerves go to the different organs relate to the spine. Now, this isn't a small journey. This is we're going to be working with this over the next year, where we work individually with the different organs, different areas of the spine, the sacrum, the rectum, the brain, and the Kundalini. And we can't go into that in depth in this webinar. It's a free webinar. We're going to be spending a lot of time learning holographic breathing for the new people, and then we're going to drop into it. But we can get the Kundalini in the rectum working, the Kundalini in the sacrum working, and those 2 organs coming together, or those, not organ, one's an organ, the other isn't, those 2 domains coming together. And there is a fast Kundalini. It's instant. For me, there's an instant rush through the brain and head as soon as I become in contact with either of those. But there's also a slow motion where it's slowly, with the rectum, will clear the rectum. Then it will clear the colon. Then it will clear through the small intestines. It will clear through the liver, the pancreas, the gallbladder. It will slowly work through all of the organs in a much slower way. And in a way, each time it comes to a new organ, you hit the karma of that, and probably upset comes up, and you have to after it's like, aha, it's that upset to do with that quality, to do with that organ, and to be with the awareness of that organ. And then when you can drop into that, that organ starts clearing. And there's a direct connection between the clearing of the organs and the clearing of the brain. You can't clear the organs without clearing the brain. You can't clear the brain without clearing the organs. So they happen in tandem. And you have to be able to understand how to process working with the intellect is different to working with the bones, the organs, the lower areas of the body. It's a different feel, and it's kind of letting go of the mind, letting go of the intellectual process, letting go of the intellectual patterns. And quite often within the New Age arena, you will hear, "Oh, don't get the energy in the head. Stay away from the head. You want the energy in the heart." For me, we're always getting the energy going through the head in holographic breathing. That's what we do in spades here. We get the energies going through the head and up to the higher self. For me, to get a decent channel, to get a decent communication with the higher self, you have to address the intellect. You have to be able to let go of the intellect. You have to let those old patterns, those old matrices through the brain release. And as the Kundalini travels through the brain, that's what happens. Rather than traveling through the matrices that we've set up there through lifetime upon lifetime, the Kundalini travels through it naturally and negates those patterns. It takes different routes to those patterns, and we become more of a viewer of what we considered to be ourself unwinding. And as that unwinds, and as you let go of that patterns, then your whole karma starts unwinding. And all of these physical diseases, emotional upsets, kind of life patterns that just seem to go around and around, and we seem to have trouble taking responsibility for them. Look what God's doing to me, or these people doing to me. But then when you let the karma release, the identity unfold on that level, then these things miraculously start getting better. But it's quite scary. It feels like this is going to kill you. And it is. At a certain point, you're trying to make yourself better and make this better and set up everything better and heal this and heal that. And in the end, you come to the realization that the problem is yourself. The person who's in the way is you. And it becomes more of a journey rather than making yourself better. It becomes more of a journey of dismantling yourself on all levels, just taking yourself apart. So you start off in one direction, and then you end up at a certain level going back and just undoing everything.